drive down the coast on a perfect day is the essence of freedom. The road, the view, the pure joy of driving. Can it get any better? Yeah, it can. At South County Lexus, we'll show you how you can make driving fun again. Because here, the journey means more than the destination. And the right car makes all the difference. South County Lexus at Mission Viejo. Different, just like you.
And welcome back. Our show today is sponsored by South County Lexus, and we thank them for doing that. We also thank Danny Ruffo for being here today. You are the Collision Center Director there.
That's correct.
But today, we're going to talk about taking care of your car, and both when people come in and they have it repainted, something happens, whether they just want their vehicle repainted or they had a collision, when they should wax it, how soon they should do after, but just in general, taking care of the paint on your car.
Yeah, that's correct, because it's the best paint that you're actually going to have on your vehicle ever. It's factory paint, and the process that they use, we just can't duplicate out in the aftermarket. So it's baked on at 350 degrees Fahrenheit, and the durability and longevity is better than anything you can get. So you definitely want to take care of it. You want to keep it waxed on the average. If it stays outside, you know, in the sun, you know, the dew, everything, you know,
Right.
all the elements, you want to keep it waxed at least once a month.
Once a month?
It seems like a lot, unless there are certain waxes. There are some waxes out there that it's a special synthetic blend. Those, it's about once every 3 months.
Okay.
You know, so, but if you're going to go to your local hand car wash, they usually don't have those waxes. So that's why I suggest once a month, especially living down here near the beach.
Right.
It's harsh.
Yeah,
you know,
it can
it's
be.
very harsh. So, you know, it seems a lot, but it's actually just part of your daily routine, you know, or your monthly routine. You put it on the calendar, you set, you know, a couple of hours aside to get it done, and it definitely will keep your car looking very good, and you'll never have to worry about repainting it, because a good paint job, one that duplicates or replicates the factory finish, on an average size vehicle, say a Camry or a Lexus, you know, an IS, you're looking minimum at $4,500 for a quality paint job.
Wow.
You know, and that's actually a deal.
Yeah.
You know, so there are shops out there. For instance, if we do a higher end paint job, it's $6,000 plus. You know, so you figure $40 for a wax job once a month. It's worth doing it.
Yeah. Now, are there certain, we used to hear about years and years ago, before you had clear coats, there were certain colors that oxidize more, red, of course.
Right.
Is that true today, or because of the type of coatings that are put on the vehicle, the factory paint, the clear coats, that sort of thing, does that even make sense anymore, or do all colors pretty much last the same?
No, there are some colors that do oxidize quicker. You know, but all the paint today is clear coated from factory. So there aren't any what we call single stage paint jobs out there.
Okay.
At least not from the factory. So, you know, the paint jobs definitely hold up better than they did before because of the clear coat. But there are certain colors, such as silver, believe it or not.
Really?
Dies out pretty quick because there's not a lot of color itself. The pigment is not, there's not a lot of it. It's mostly metallic. So it'll burn out. It'll still have a shine, but the color itself dies out. Reds naturally, you know, red is a vulnerable color. But, you know, those two colors are, I think, the most common colors that will tend to die out on you. Okay.
People around here, most of them, they're either in carports or maybe they're just out on the street. There are a lot of garages here, but I think a lot of people park their cars outside nowadays because they can't fit stuff in their garage, like myself. One of the things that I noticed too, and I'm not sure quite how to always take care of this, is that throughout the car, especially between the windows, you have the black panels, that plastic there. And for me, especially the way where I park my car, it always seems to be one side that gets it more than others. How do you take care of that to bring back their luster? Can you use those Armor All type products just to wipe those on, or there's any certain product that you can use?
There are some of those products, but there's also a polish. It's a very mild abrasive. It's not a compound like most of a lot of people remember rubbing compound.
Sure.
You know, you put it on a rag, you rub it, and you rub through the paint, or you do some damage. You want to get a polishing compound. It's very mild, non-aggressive, and that will definitely bring back you know, the luster of those panels. And
for those the black, I call them, sometimes they're a little bit shiny black, sometimes they're sort of a matte black, but they always seem to go quicker than everything else. You mentioned rubbing compound. People that may want to wax their car, and whether they do it as you recommend once a month, what is some of the good waxes to choose? I think we all remember the compounds you would put on. It would dry to a haze, then you'd have to come back, and you know, it's, you know, like the old Karate Kid thing, wax on, wax off, and your arms are ready to fall off by the time you were done. It seemed like a 3-hour process. You have to wash your car first. Is there something simpler that can be used nowadays?
There's a number of products out there. Just to name a few, there's Mother's, Meguiar's. Those are the two most.
Are those the ones that, as you rinse the car, it's sort of built in, that wax?
No, actually, they have it's what they call a dry wash or wax. You know, waterless, and you can use that on a dusty surface. You spray it on, wipe it off. It doesn't leave a haze, and it also cleans your car. And wax puts a light wax on it at the same time.
Wow! So. Even if your car is a little bit of dust on there, you just spray these products on. And is there a certain kind of rag that you recommend? A terry cloth towel?
Microfiber is always the best.
Okay.
Yeah. So, you know, you just need a couple of rags. You use one to initially take it off, and then another one to lightly buff it, and it looks beautiful. It turns out great.
What about for people who want to take the effort? You see, I call them the clay bars. And often you go to car shows and people are showing how those can be used. They look like a big eraser in a way, a malleable eraser, and they go over the car with it. How effective are those, and how easy are they to use?
They're very effective. It is easy. Plan on setting a few hours aside. And a little bit of elbow grease, so it's great exercise for you if you choose to do that.
All right, so somebody who really wants to baby their car, that's a good way to do it.
Exactly.
How often should someone get their car buffed, and is it something that they should do on their own? You've seen the kits, or should they take it to a professional such as yourself?
You definitely want to bring it to a professional. You should only have to buff your vehicle one time in its life.
Okay.
So, and that's after it's you know, built up a little bit of oxidation. You want to get it buffed and then waxed with a very good, you know, synthetic blend wax. After that, it's just a matter of maintenance. Once you've you know, once you keep that wax on there, that wax buildup, you'll never have to have it rebuffed again.
Okay. Another thing you see quite often on cars that get to be 3, 4, 5 years old, especially the ones that are parked outside, is the haze that happens over the headlights, the headlight covers. The newer cars, it doesn't seem to happen as much because they seem to be perfectly clear, but cars maybe of a few years ago, you see that. Again, there are kits that you can buy for this, but tell me how you folks do that to make those headlight bezels clear again.
We basically buff them just like we do the paint.
Okay.
You know, it's a petroleum-based product, and what happens is when those oils dry out from the wind, the sun, and everything else, all the elements, it'll tend to oxidize just like paint. So by buffing those headlights out, and again putting a good coat of wax on it, will definitely preserve it for quite some time.
Okay, and you'll notice how much brighter your headlights are.
Oh yeah, definitely. And every time you get your car waxed, you just have them put a light coat of wax on the headlights also. It'll definitely hold up.
If people want to bring their car into you, and it's time maybe for a complete detail, what are the steps that you take, both interior and exterior? And what would the price would be, let's say, on a Lexus, on an IS, on a GS, and on basically a mid-size sedan?
The average price to do a complete detail inside and out, that means buffing the paint, headlights, moldings, putting a very expensive high-end synthetic wax on it, doing the interior shampoo, you know, the works is what we call it. That's $250 on up.
Okay.
Right now, we have a special going on for the rest of this month that anyone who refers a friend to us, you know, for a collision repair, that will be free. That'll be complimentary to them.
Wow.
All right.
Yeah.
And also, we have a special going on right now on all collision work, 20% off on anyone that mentions TV6.
Oh, there you go. All right. And we got the number on the screen there, 877-360-4067. I think that somebody who's maybe let their car go a little bit, $250 is a bargain, especially when that includes the interior. To come in and it gets your car all back into shape and just beautiful looking, and then from there, it'll be a lot easier to maintain that, won't it?
Oh, definitely. We'll help them maintain it.
All right. So give Danny a call. His team can help you out, whether you need a detail or you have a collision, anything to take care of. You do, I know you're a Lexus. Would you also do Toyota vehicles
We
as
do
well?
all makes and models.
Okay, you do. Great.
Yes, we do.
Very good. So there's the number on the screen, 877-360-4067. And they're not far away. They're located on on Marguerite Parkway, right up from Avery, or you could say down from the shops at Mission Viejo, right kind of in between there.
Correct.
Yeah, great location and great dealerships. It's beautiful inside.
It is. It is really nice to work there.
Very nice. And we thank you for sponsoring our show every Tuesday. We appreciate that.
Oh, well, thank you.
Danny, thank you for stopping by. Nice to see you again.
Pleasure.
Nice to see you. All right, folks, we'll be right back and we'll learn about the Media and Communications meeting that took place yesterday.